Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And I know it's been a week since I did a video. Ever since I uploaded my last video, which was a response video to a tag, pretty much after that, I was really sick with allergies. Allergies really kicked in, it's that time of the year. Still getting over a little bit of the, cough and all that stuff, but, because, allergies, but it's been better lately, so I figured I wanted to, these reviews I wanted to do for the next couple videos. Basically, I wanted to do them right after I did my last video but then the allergies came about, and I just didn't have, didn't really have the energy to make any videos, so that's why it's been a week since I did a video, so I figured I'd come at you with a couple reviews in a row for today. And they're all my top 2 favorite movies of all time. Just want to let you know on that. So, of course, I've been wanting to review these 2 films for a while. So, I'm going to start off with the first review. Of course, it's all my favorite film of all time. I have the poster for it over here. If you can see it over this way, you can see the poster in that little frame case-looking thing. I've always been a fan of this movie ever since I first saw this way back in 2010. That's when I first saw this film, and I fell in love with this film. It's my favorite film of all time, and of course that review is going to be on Judgment Night. Now, Judgment Night was released in 1993, directed by Stephen Hopkins. Before this, did Predator 2, which I really do enjoy Predator 2. Also did Elm Street 5, which I'm not too much of a fan of Elm Street 5, but it's one of the weaker ones in the Elm Street franchise for me. But I really do enjoy Predator 2, and I really do enjoy this film, Judgment Night. Like I said, it's my all-time favorite movie. I love this film. I think it's a really well done, underrated gem, and has a fantastic cast. Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Denis Leary is your villain, Stephen Dorff, Jeremy Piven. It's a really solid cast. And basically with the idea of Judgment Night, basically the idea is that you have these 4 guys. You have Emilio Estevez, who's a family man who just had a baby, and he has a wife. You have Cuba Gooding Jr. is one of Emilio's buddies. And Jerry Piven also plays one of the other friends. And basically they're going out to a boxing match in Chicago. And then one thing leads to another. One of the guys backed out last minute, so then Emilio Estevez invites his younger brother, John, Stephen Dorff, to take the guy's place. So it's basically those 4 guys going to a boxing match in Chicago, for the night out. One thing leads to another. They're stuck in traffic along the way, and Jeremy Piven gets the idea of cutting through the highway to get off this exit ramp to take a shortcut to get past all the traffic. To get, to the boxing match a little faster. One thing leads to another. They end up in this really, really rough part of town. And then one thing leads to another. They think they hit somebody with their RV, because Jeremy Piven's character rented out this RV-looking thing for the night. One thing leads to another. They think they hit somebody, and then they find a guy who's shot. And they try to flag down a cop car, and it doesn't work, and they end up getting crashed with this other vehicle, and they get stuck in this alleyway. One thing leads to another. You find out this guy stole from somebody, and he's part of this little gang. And you find out this guy that they helped actually stole from Denis Leary's character, whose name's Fallon, who's our main villain. And the guys pull the guy out of the RV, and you find out that they got the kid that they try to help stole from Denis Leary, and Denis Leary just kills him in cold blood in front of these 4 guys. And basically these guys are witnesses to a murder, and basically Denis Leary says, no witnesses. So basically from there on, it's these guys on the run from Denis Leary and his group of guys, and they're getting chased throughout the night, and they're trying to survive the night pretty much. And that's pretty much what Judgment Night is about. What works about this film is, first off, you have the cast. I think this cast does a great job. Emilio Estevez, I really like his character as Frank. He's a family man who just had a baby. He has a wife. Fantastic performance by Emilio Estevez. And I know a little bit of the trivia where Emilio Estevez was actually one of the actors very low on the list for the lead actor for this film, because I think they went to a lot of high profile guys, and some of the guys that passed on the role were Tom Cruise and Christian Slater, really enough. So then Emilio Estevez ended up getting a big payday because they cast the lead role. And I think, I'm glad Emilio Estevez got it, because Emilio Estevez does a great job as Frank, as the family man, things like that. Cuba Gooding Jr. as Mike, who is Emilio's buddy. I think he's very entertaining in the film as well. He's a guy like towards like the end when they're fighting off the bad guys, you can kind of see like maybe he's too macho for his own good. He tries to be the hero, but maybe he's too macho for his own good, so to say. You have Stephen Dorff as John, who is Frank's younger brother. And there's a little bit of friction between the two of them, but eventually the two grow close at the very end. And Jeremy Piven's character as Ray, who's the other friend. Jeremy Piven, one of his early roles, I think he does a great job. Denis Leary as your main villain. Denis Leary plays a fantastic villain. I mean, he was very cold and calculating, but also at the same time, he has some very funny lines of dialogue. And of course, a lot of really great scenes in the film as well. It's like when they're hiding out in the train yard, and they encounter these bums, and the bums, in order for them to not give away their hiding spot, they bribe the bums with, jewelry and money and things like that. There's another point, too. It's one of my personal favorite scenes in the movie, is when they're on the rooftops, and they have to climb across this, ladder-looking thing that's going from roof to roof, and they have to climb across, and it's really, rickety and very loose, and it, seems like it's a very dangerous thing to cross. That's a pretty cool part. The part when they go into the sewers, that's a really another great scene. And I think the directing by the style of this film is done very well by Stephen Hopkins. It's beautifully directed. I like the use of lighting, in the dark alleyways. I like the use of lighting. I think it has great cinematography. The musical score is a little bit more. It has a mixture of hip hop, a little bit of hard rock, so to say, and it has a really great soundtrack. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey yo kid, what's up? Do 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 do. And of course, you're just another victim, kid. You're just another victim, kid. Really great soundtrack by Alan Silvestri. I think it's a great soundtrack. And also too, just a lot of really great stuff in this film. And also some of one of Denis Leary's henchmen in the film. The actor's name, Peter Green, is Denis Leary's right-hand man, the villain. He was the villain in The Mask with Jim Carrey. He also was, Zed from Pulp Fiction. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. That's Peter Green. He's one of the bad guys in here as well. And I think he does a great job. This film just has a lot going for it. I like the story. It's a very simple story. It goes by at a very quick pace. It's 109 minutes long, but that's almost 2 hours. But it goes by at a really great pace. You don't get bored by the film. I think this film is beautifully directed by Stephen Hopkins. I like the use of lighting. The cast does a great job. I mean, Emilio Estevez really is the standout of all of the out of the four heroes. I mean, Emilio Estevez. I grew up with Emilio Estevez with the Mighty Ducks and things like that. I think Denis Leary plays a great villain. He's definitely a guy I don't want to mess with, but at the same time, he's pretty funny. Don't move, don't whisper, and don't even breathe. It's that was the tagline, because this is the original poster for the movie. Because the DVD, I'm really glad that they released this on Blu-ray from the Warner Archive. But for the longest time, this was only on DVD, and I know the old DVD had this kind of had this poster, but it was not exactly like this. It had these three on the bottom and Denis Leary on top. but it looked a little bit different. But like the DVD cover that I have is more of the recent DVD that they released of it, where it had Emilio Estevez, Stephen Dorff, and Cuba Gooding Jr. and had Denis Leary on the bottom. But I like this cover better because it's the original poster, just like the poster over here. But you know, granted, it is from the Warner Archive collection, so no features on it, sadly. I would like to see, like, you know, maybe Shout Factory, you know, get a hand on this maybe one day. I don't know, though. And, you know, interview some of these guys. You know, interview Denis Leary, interview Emilio Estevez and Stephen Hopkins, you know, interview some people, you know. Maybe there's a little bit of making of, maybe a commentary or things like that, but I'm really glad to have the film in HD because I think it looked pretty good on Blu-ray. It was really cool to see this film in HD, and of course the whole finale fight is a lot of fun at the very end as well. I'm not gonna say what the finale is, but if you haven't seen Judgment Night, it's a really underrated gem. It's very well directed, great cast of. A great musical score, just beautifully directed by Stephen Hopkins. And I think Judgment Night is one of those films that you just have to check out if you have not seen it yet. It's a must-see, and it's a must-pick up, too. If you are interested in checking it out, I would highly recommend you check it out. So, that is pretty much it for my review for Judgment Night. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, guys. Take care.